Okay, today I want to talk about whether or not frozen pipes and damage from frozen pipes is covered by your standard homeowner's policy. And I've gotten right here, here's a State Farm homeowner's policy. And so we're going to take a look at this, type in the word freezing. We're going to go to this part of the policy. This is page 13 of this policy. Now this talks about the types of things that are covered under the personal property coverage. And so that is like TVs and radios, things like that. And we can see that if we actually go to this next page, page 14, that one of these specific types of things that's covered is freezing of a plumbing, heating, air conditioning, or automatic fire protective sprinkler system or of a household appliance. And specifically, when we're talking about personal property, we're talking about loss that results from, say, frozen pipes. Say the pipes burst and ruin the TV. Well, but, this is a big but. Right here we see this peril does not include loss on a residence premises unless you have used reasonable care to maintain heat in the building structure at 55 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, or shut off the water supply and drain the system and appliances of water. So make sure you read your policies, and when you have a freeze event coming up, make sure that you follow precautions like ensuring that the heat is on, run your faucets, do things like that. Now, this same kind of coverage also applies to if your pipes burst and it causes damage to, say, the walls and floors and things like that of your home. And then that's covered in the policy by looking back. If we go back here to Section 1, Losses Insured, Coverage A, Dwelling, the way this Coverage A works is it covers everything unless it's specifically excluded later in the policy. And then to find the things that aren't covered to the dwelling, that means the home and the walls and the floor and the ceiling and that sort of stuff, we come down here right after where we were looking and we find losses not insured. And here it says freezing of a plumbing, heating, air conditioning system, but this exclusion does not apply if you have used reasonable care to maintain heat in the building structure at 55 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, or shut off the water supply and drain the system and appliances of water. So again, we see what that means is that it is generally going to be covered. Now let's look at a Allstate policy. This is the second largest insurer in Alabama, or certainly up there. And we'll see, again, I've used this freezing search, and the way this policy is structured is it says we don't cover stuff under losses, we do not cover under coverages A or B. And so we go down here to where it says freezing, and let's just go, I think the main section is, here we go. And it says they don't cover freezing of plumbing, automatic fire protective sprinkler systems, heating or air conditioning systems, yada, 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 while the building structure is vacant, unoccupied, or being constructed, unless you have used reasonable care to maintain heat in the building structure. So we can see that this policy is a little bit different. And this shows how important it is to make sure that you're familiar with your policy coverages. But again, what it's saying is that damage from frozen pipes will be covered if you've used reasonable care to keep your house warm, things like that, possibly drip your faucets. So I hope this has been helpful to you. This is an explanation of what damages are covered when you have a freezing event or a frozen pipes type situation. I hope it's helpful. If you have any problems, call me.